Right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can do scraping of your games. So basically what it will do is it'll give you a pretty picture and a description of your game. So these ones haven't been scraped yet, but I can show you some that have. So here you've got a picture on the left, and then just details when it was released, publisher, that kind of stuff. So it makes it look pretty well, pretty nice. So we're going to do that for our ScumVM. So if you're in EmulationStation, you've got it hooked up with your RetroPie. To get to the scraper, you first need to make sure you're connected to the internet, because that's where it pulls the information from, is the game's database online. So to start, you just press start, and then scrape is the first thing. Just press A. Now you can choose which database you choose from, the archive or the GamesDB. I found that the GamesDB's got a lot more options, so that's the one I typically will use. And there's also some other types in the command line that you can use for MAME and other stuff, but this is the simplest way I've found, even though it might be a little more intensive. So you just click on scrape now, and then for those missing image, and then this is just the systems you choose. So I only want to do ScumVM, so that's the only one I'm going to leave marked. And all I'm doing is just pressing A to unmark it, and just go back, and then deciding on conflict. So if you've got, for example, if you're playing Sonic the Hedgehog and there's maybe two versions, if it sees that there's two versions, it will give you the option to choose between one or the other. And so that way you can make sure that you've got an accurate representation of the games you've got. So I'll just click start, and then this is what it's going to open up to. So of course the launch GUI is not going to have a game, so you just press A to skip that. And then it will just go one by one for all the games that you have. So Balloon Rama, that sounds right, Backyard Baseball. So there's a bunch of different options for this one. I know that it's a 1997 PC version of Backyard Baseball, so that's the one I choose. And then if there's a case where you don't have some options for the game you've got, and you know that it's something different than what's provided, you can go down to the input section down here and just press A, and it'll give you a search for bar. So if maybe it was misspelled or something like that, it's not showing up, you can change the spelling. So in order to change it, all you've got to do is press A, and then if you've got a keyboard attached, either wire or wireless, so you press A to start editing, and you can just modify it to however you want, and then you can just press B on your controller, or you can press enter on your keyboard, and then press the down arrow, and then just press search. So obviously there's nothing named basket, so it's not going to show up. But yeah, so that's pretty much all you do. I know that there are some issues with different character types, so if there's like some hyphens or colons or a weird little E symbol above Pokemon, but I think that actually might have been just fixed recently. But that can cause some problems with the games, so they might not show up, especially when it comes to main games. There's been issues with Pac-Man and Dig Dug and those other games for some reason just not showing up, even though they are actually in the online database. So sometimes you might just have to concede the fact that you'll need to skip those and either put them in manually or come up with a different scraper that might use them. I know that Self, there's a guy who's done his own scraper that's worked pretty well for the command line for main games, but I don't think they include the descriptions. So anyways, those are just basics for scraping, just to make your games look a lot better, and just give you a little bit more comprehensive feel for your games. But that's basically all there is to it. And then you just stop, shows you what you've done, and then go back, start, and then you can see that they're up there now. And it changes the name, so even though your file name might be basketball, it'll change it to like Backyard Basketball or whatever it is. So it just makes it look a lot nicer. But yeah, that's it.